Hello everyone, today I am going to present about system development methodologies. What is system development methodology? A system development methodology or a software development methodology in software engineering is a framework that is used to structure, plan and control the process of developing information system. Now we are going to talk about evolution of system development methodology. First, system development life cycle. Then, structured analysis and design where we use data flow diagrams. Then, data-oriented methodology where we use entity relation diagrams. Then, object-oriented methodology where we use unified modeling language diagrams. What is system development life cycle? The system development life cycle, also referred to as the application development life cycle, is a term used in system engineering, information system and software engineering to describe a process for planning, analysis, design, implementation and maintenance in an information system. This is the system development life cycle. It starts from planning, then analysis, then design, then implementation, and finally maintenance. There are several types of system development methodologies. They are Waterfall model, Spiral model, Rapid application development, and Agile development. First, we will talk about Waterfall model. The history of Waterfall model. The Waterfall model was documented by Royce in 1970. This was the first public document lifecycle model. This model is linear and sequential model which possesses an important role in each phase. The model was named as Waterfall model because its phases are arranged as the flow of water from a cliff. What is Waterfall model? The waterfall model is a model which was developed to create software. It is called as such because the model develops symmetrical from one place to another in a downward fashion like a waterfall. Waterfall model is another name for the more traditional approach for software development. This is the waterfall model. The initial phase is requirements, then design phase, then development phase, then testing phase, and finally maintenance phase. There are some problems occurred in this waterfall model. Sometimes the requirements changes. Sometimes the development phase is too long and sometimes we have to skip the testing phase and go to maintenance. This approach is highly risky, often more costly and generally less efficient than agile approaches. The strengths of the waterfall model. Easy to understand and easy to use, provide structures to inexperienced staff, milestones are well understood, well set requirement stabilities, good management control, work well when quality is more important than cost or schedule. Weaknesses of a waterfall model. It has a rigid design and inflexible procedure. One phase must be completed before the next phase. No phases can be repeated. The situations where the waterfall model is most appropriate. Projects that are large, expensive and complex. Projects that include clear objectives and requirements. For a project team with inexperienced members. For projects with no immediate deadlines. Situations where the waterfall model is least appropriate. For large and complex projects with requirements that are expected to alter with time, real-time systems, event-driven systems, and leading-edge applications. This is parallel development. Here, The design phase is segmented to 3 or many other numbers, and then the implementation phase, then the system is reformed in the integration phase. Now we are going to talk about the spiral model. The history of spiral model. The spiral model was developed by Barry Boehm in 1986. At that year, he also released his first paper article, A Spiral Model of Software Development and Enhancement. He called the spiral model as process model generator. Not like waterfall model, spiral model is not a sequential method. It has an evolutionary method. What is spiral model? Spiral development model is a system developing model in information technology. It combines the feature of the prototyping model and waterfall model. It is favored for large, expensive and complicated models. This is the spiral model. Steps of the spiral model. Define the problem with much detail as possible by interviewing the client and potential users of the system, as well as studying any existing system. A preliminary design is created for the new system. A first prototype of the system is constructed from the preliminary design and is a scaled down version of the final product. A second prototype is derived by the following procedure. Evaluate the first prototype for strengths, weaknesses and risks. Define the requirements of second prototype. Plan and design the second prototype. Construct and test the second prototype. At this point, the customer may decide to scrap the whole project if the risk is too high. Development cost overrun, operation cost miscalculation, other factors that may result in a substandard product. Evaluate the current prototype in the same way as the previous prototype and create another one if needed. Iterate the preceding steps until the customer is satisfied that the current prototype represents the final product. Construct the final system. The final system is thoroughly evaluated and tested, and routine maintenance is carried out for the life of the product. The strengths of the spiral model. High amount of risk analysis, hence avoidance of risk is enhanced. Good for large and mission critical projects. Strong approval and documentation control. Additional functionality can be added at a later date. Weaknesses of a spiral model. Can be costly model to use. Risk analysis requires highly specific expertise. Project success is highly dependent on the risk analysis phase. Doesn't work well for smaller projects. This is the comparison between waterfall model and spiral model. Waterfall model works in sequential methods, but spiral model works in evolutionary method. Waterfall model is adopted by customers, but spiral model is adopted by developers. Waterfall model is applicable for small projects, but spiral model is used for large projects. In waterfall model, requirements and early stage planning is necessary. But in spiral model, requirements and early stage planning is necessary if required. In waterfall model, errors or risks are identified and rectified after completion of stages. But in spiral model, errors or risks are identified by rectified earlier. Rapid application development. Today Now we are going to talk about rapid application development. History of rapid application development. The rapid application development was developed by James Martin. This model was released to the public in 1991 along with the book Rapid Application Development. When James Martin worked in IBM, the rapid application development was introduced to the public as a solution for the problems arised by waterfall model and spiral model. What is rapid application development? Rapid application development model is a linear sequential software development process that has much faster development and higher quality results than those achieved with the traditional software development lifecycle. A complete cycle of rapid application development model comprises mainly 5 steps. They are business modeling, data modeling, process modeling, application generation, and testing and turnover. First, we'll talk about business modeling. The information flow among the business functions is modeled in a way that answers the following questions. What information drives the business process? What information is generated? What generates it? Where does the information go? Who processes it? Next, data modeling. The information flow is an essential part of the business modeling phase, which requires a set of refined data to support the business. The attribute of each object identifies in this space and relationships between these objects are well defined. Step 3. Process modeling. The data objects that were identified and defined in the data modeling phase are transformed to acquire the information flow that are essential for implementing a business function. The descriptions are created and processed for adding, modifying, deleting, or retrieving a data object. Step 4. Application generation. The RAD model uses various RAD tools such as VB, VC++, Delphi, etc. Instead of developing software using conventional third generation programming languages, the RAD model uses the existing programming components whenever necessary. However, in every case, automated tools are used for facilitating the development of the software. Step 5. Testing and turnover. Since the RAD process lay emphasis on the reuse of the existing components, a large number of program components have already been tested. This minimizes the time of testing and development and saves a lot of time. Strengths of rapid application development. Reduces development time, increases reusability of components, quick initial review worker, encourage customer feedback, integration from very beginning, solves a lot of integration issues. Weaknesses of rapid application development. Depends on strong team and individual performance from identifying business requirements. Only system that can be modularized and can build using RAD. Requires highly skilled developers and designers. High dependency on modeling skills. Inapplicable to cheaper projects as cost of modeling and automate code generation is very high. Situations where rapid application development is most appropriate. Project is of small to medium scale and of short duration. Project scope is focused such that the business objective is well defined and narrow. Application is highly interactive, has a clear defined user group, and it is not computationally complex. Situations where rapid application development is least appropriate. Very large infrastructure projects, largely distributed information systems such as cooperated wide database, real-time or safety critical systems. Project scope is broad and business objectives are obscure. Drawbacks of rapid application development. Rapid application development requires sufficient human resources to create the right number of rapid application development teams in a large and suitable projects. RAD developers and customers should be committed to the rapid fire activities. A non-modularized system where technical risk is high. Agile development. Now we are going to talk about Agile development. History of Agile development. The Agile development was released to public in early 2000s. This model made a big change in system development and software engineering sector, as it gave many advantages to the users when comparing with other models found before this model. Even though agile development is widely used in IT field and system development field, it was found as an alternative for system development methodology. Agile umbrella. Agile is an umbrella term for a set of methods and practices based on the value and principle expressed in Agile Manifesto. That is a way of thinking that enable teams and business to innovate, quickly respond to change in demand while mitigating risks. This is the Agile umbrella. Popular frameworks under umbrella: Scrum, Extreme Programming, Dynamic System Development Method, Feature-Driven Development, Adaptive Software Development, the Crystal Method, Lean Software Development, Disciplined Agile. Scrum, a project management methodology in which a small team is led by a Scrum Master whose main job is to clear away all obstacles to completing work. Work is done in short cycles called sprints, but the team meets daily to discuss current tasks and roadblocks. An agile team meets daily to discuss current tasks and roadblocks. An agile scrum process benefits the organization by helping it to increase the quality of the deliverables, cope better with change and expect the changes, provide better estimates while spending less time creating them, be more in control of the project schedule and state. Extreme programming, a project management methodology where the project plan, budget, and final deliverable can be changed to fit evolving needs no matter how far along the project is. Advantages of agile development: customer satisfaction by rapid continuous deliveries of useful software, close daily cooperation between business people and developers, regular adaptations to changing circumstances, even late changes in requirements are welcomed. Face-to-face conversation is the best form of communication. Disadvantages of agile development: the project can easily get taken off track if the customer representative is not clear what final outcome that they want. Only senior programmers are capable of taking the kind of decisions required during the development process. Hence, it has no place for newbie programmers unless combined with experienced resources. This is the comparison between rapid application development and agile development. Based on designing prototypes and then re-engineering them into production quality code. But agile development do not allow prototypes. RAD teams are managed by project managers, but agile development teams are self-managing. Works, red teams work as individuals, resulting in unmaintainable and poorly designed code. Agile teams focus on team communication and designing as a group. Red developers focus by first doing it badly, then improving on the code. Agile developers break down the solution into features. This is the comparison between waterfall model and agile development. Waterfall model doesn't involve clients. Agile development, the clients are highly involved in the development of the project. Waterfall model is suitable for big projects. Agile development is suitable for small projects. In Waterfall, the project leader is called as project manager and most of them are from IT background. Scrum Master is in control of the whole project and they may not have an IT background. In Waterfall model, there is no turning back to the previous page if there are any requirements or problems occur. In Agile development, if there are any new requirements, the process of the project is still running. In Waterfall model, interactions with the users only happen when gathering the requirements and for user testing. In Agile development, constant meetups is required to interact with the users. This is the end of my presentation. Thank you.